What's up, everybody? It's just lots of promotions around custom shop guitars all month long, and we've had a blast doing these live events on Thursday nights. This will be the last one. This event is going to be a feature of Martin and Gibson acoustics and some cool Fender stuff that we couldn't fit into as just a singular event. Really excited about it. So if you're into anything you see online, you can always call us right here at 412-343-5299, and we'll hook you up with a great deal. We have amazing 0% financing options, lots of cool stuff. Additionally, we have just a handful of days left through Monday to sign up for our Fender Custom Shop Distiller Blues Junior giveaway. It's a custom shop amp they've made 25 of. They're $24.99, so $2,500 value. You can win one. All you got to do is sign up. So if you haven't, make sure you do that. Please subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook and Instagram social media channels. We're going to be doing tons and tons of video. We're working really hard with our manufacturers to get great gear. We have a big expansion happening above us. We're actually adding a big space above us in our store here. So we're going to be able to do more of this as we continue into the fall. So we're really pumped. I'm excited about tonight because Martin Guitars, who've been really like shut down. They were one of the first manufacturers to get shut down and one of the last to open. So they've been really hit hard, and we're pumped to support them. We're working with them to become a custom shop expert dealer. We're actually going to be a custom shop expert dealer, which is about 25 dealers in North America. And this means that they've selected us to be the hub for custom shop Martin guitars. And this means that we're going to have amazing opportunities to get really cool, unique woods, specs that you can't normally get in the custom shop. And we've had access, even though they've been shut down, they've had a good handful of build slots available to allow us to get great guitars, even though right now their backorder situation is, really difficult for them to overcome. They're working really hard to get caught up on orders. We've been getting a tons of cool custom shop guitars. So shout out to our rep, Brendan, and Kit. So Kit's on the mend right now, so we're hoping she's feeling better. She is a big part of why we're a custom shop dealer and custom shop expert dealer. So tonight we're really excited to celebrate Martin Guitars first and talk to you about what it means to get a custom shop Martin. For those of you who don't know, Martin invented the American modern guitar, the steel string guitar. It's Martin Guitars that invented it. And there's so much history, and they're from our home state of Pennsylvania. They're only about a 4.5, 5-hour drive from our shop here in Pittsburgh. So we're at the factory all the time when we're allowed to. Right now, shut down for dealers like us to go through. But we have a great relationship with them, and we have a really just a big future with the custom shop ahead of us because we're able to go out and hand select woods and work with their team to get just amazing instruments. And I wanted to highlight about 5, 6 guitars that, a couple we just got in, and just talk about what a custom shop Martin is and what the capability is. So, we just actually did a really great custom OM42 style guitar for a customer today where we designed it and they, with their specs, and we can walk through that entire process and make sure it's specialized exactly to your needs. Or you can select something from the custom shop that Martin makes, like the model I'm holding here. So we're really versed in either way. I wanted to start with this guitar because all of these guitars have a really amazing story in terms of their tone woods and kind of like what the builder is going for. This particular guitar, while it doesn't look that crazy from the front, it's a Sitka spruce top. The story on this guitar is the back and sides. This is Sinker mahogany back and sides, and Sinker mahogany has a major, or this type of mahogany has a major part in Martin's history. So this wood was initially milled between 1880 and 1920. So it's at least 100 years old, and it comes from Belize. And why that's important is this forest and this source of wood and this age of wood that was initially used on the pre-World War II Martins. So the most famous golden era guitars had this exact wood. Now, as they sent it up the river to be forested and milled, about a third of it fell off. So Martin was able to use a scuba team and sonar and all this crazy stuff to source this wood, which is just outrageous. And it's amazing because these are considered to be the mahogany is like the most famous mahogany in Martin's history, and they had some that we could use for these custom builds. This particular one is a Grand Performer body style, which is like an auditorium shape. Actually has an LR bag system in it. I also have a triple O in there as well. Ebony fretboard and bridge, scallop bracing, really amazing guitar. And it's cool. So if you're a history buff, you're going to find that a lot of the woods that we're going to talk about in the Martin Custom Shop are going to have a really cool historical tale to them because they have such a long history of building guitars that they really have just access to all these cool channels of rare and unique items. Great thing with the mahogany here that it's been underwater for 100 some years, up to 100 years, is all the mineral deposits have just slowly entered into the wood and changed the tonal content of it to give us the ability to sound like basically the classic, basically a 70 or an 80-year-old Martin guitar, which if you wanted to buy a pre-World War II Martin D18 or 0018, they're a fortune. They're really some of the most sought after guitars in the world. So this allows us to get the wood that was milled exactly then and intended for those guitars in our hands today in a new build. Really, another part that's amazing is Martin's quality is the highest it's ever been. So now when you get a guitar, the action is extremely low, the necks are more comfortable, the truss rods are great, just a really, really impressive opportunity to play a world-class guitar. And these guitars are all going to range in price from something that for custom shop isn't very expensive like this guy to some guitars that we'll have, they'll show you that run just under $15,000. But I want you to hear this guitar so we can kind of compare them and contrast them to some other instruments. The Grand Performer is a little bit broader across the waist. Nice and narrow though, so super comfortable, kind of hourglass features, right? It's really easy to reach around the guitar and play it. Simple design, but it just sounds really, really nice and balanced and rich. So let's check it out. What you'll notice about Martin guitars is they have a very characteristic sonic profile. They sound like Martin guitars. You can close your eyes and hear it. My favorite part of all the brands that we offer all have kind of a part that makes me really excited about what they're great at and what they remind me of. And when you think of instruments like the ones I'm about to show you, I think of the most classic records ever written, and hearing those sounds, they're very, very true to that. So if you close your eyes and you listen to your famous, favorite folk songs that you've heard and singer-songwriter songs from the 50s, 60s, 70s, like for modern music, it's likely done on a Martin guitar. It's just like a really, really amazing opportunity to get that type of tone. We carry Taylor guitars, which are their own sonic profile, and then you have this here, which offers you a really rich, full, kind of like bottom heavy, real woodsy kind of sound. So just different, and there's not a right or wrong, but if you're looking for something that gives you that vintagey type of vibe, something like this would be amazing. Now, one of the guitars that we just received this week is a 0014, and this guitar is really cool, and it's a wood that we've worked with a handful of times before. This is an Italian alpine spruce top with red curly maple back and sides. It's absolutely gorgeous. So when we get custom shop guitars, we get the wood that is sourced. It's the top percentage of wood that comes through the factory. It's hand selected to make sure it's premium. Sometimes this is a little confusing because when you think of the tops, you think, okay, a spruce, Sitka spruce top. Well, that's not just any Sitka spruce top on here. That was the finest grade that Martin had to offer. Well, here you have this beautiful red curly maple, which is not available on any stock model. You can't find a standard Martin guitar with curly maple. And the Italian alpine spruce is special. And what's special about it is that this wood grows at a very high altitude and grows super slow. And by doing that, you get really beautiful striping. So if you go to our site, empiremusiconline.com, and you click on any of these guitars, you'll be able to see the individual photos of each one. We do meticulous about all of our photos. You'll be able to see the beautiful Madagascar rosewood binding. It's just really, just stunning. The very classic small diamond inlays. But with this instrument, you're going to get, because it's slow growth, you get extremely big sound. You get it's its own flavor, but it's compared often to Adirondack because of its output. It's very, very vocal, but it's also got like a certain tenderness to it that's roundness. It sounds a little bit warmer and smarter to me, which I love. Now this one also has Adirondack bracing scalloped, and it's a golden era style bracing, which the golden era style bracing has actually a tighter X brace where it's done, which we don't want to get too crazy that a nuanced specs on something like that right now. But you get that, you get scalloped Adirondack bracing. Adirondack bracing is like kind of a secret ingredient because it allows the top to flex more and gives it more output. It sounds bigger, faster, stronger. I love that. And what they did, which is really great here too, is they finished it with a maple neck with Madagascar rosewood binding all the way up the top. So I'm going to play this one for you, but Anthony just came through and reminded me there are links to all these guitars I'm talking about. He's going to put in the comments. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them and we will get to them. And later on, just for what it's worth, we're going to bring Todd in here to play some tasty grooves on the electric guitars I want to show you guys. But triple O body shape or orchestra body shape, these are super comfortable. And most of my personal guitars are in this size range. I just like them because they're very easy to hold and comfortable. I find them to be very balanced, real easy. Is you'll find the maple back and sides is a little bit harder tone wood, so you're going to get real clean, defined tone, which I'm a big fan of. So let's just check this thing out and see what you think. Super, super balanced, but kind of like that fat, chunky bottom end, right? It's just a little bit wider, a bit fuller, but tons of evenness and all those notes ring through. And what's great is when you get Adirondack bracing, you get an Italian alpine spruce top, you get the maple back and sides, the curly maple. You can play lightly, some basic light picking, and it's going to sound very, very full. Amazing sustain. And when I'm playing this instrument, I feel it moving the whole time. I love that. When you're playing the guitar softly and it's moving so much air because it's braced so well and it's thinned out woods and just hand sanded nicely. The bracing's all done by hand. You get all this momentum and it creates not only amazing tone and overtones, it allows for you to play delicately and get this big boastful tone. So it's just really a special instrument. And if you're ever considering a Martin, people have Martin guitars that have, rosewood or mahogany back and sides, because that's a traditional historical woods that Martins have used. If you're looking to diversify, I suggest this lovely Martin Custom Shop Triple O, which features the curly maple back and sides and an Italian alpine spruce top. Sticking with kind of cool and unique woods, I'm going to grab this guy back here. And this is a custom shop model. It is great with a 4O or M body shape. So a little bit wider than the Triple O. But this has Zero Cody. Zero Cody comes from Central America. It's super rare. It's got this famous for its like ink style tone, right? Like you can see the striping all through here. Really, really beautiful. And this has a ton of overtones. It's a super lively instrument. And the cool thing with this has an Adirondack top on it too. So again, very boastful. The cool thing with a 4O body shape is you're going to hear it's got a little bit extra go. You don't see too many 4Os. There's not really a bunch of 4O models that are standard in the line. But if you want something that's got more go, more push, this is what you play. You can hear a little bit more depth kind of already compared to the maple. It's just a little bit different type of sound. So let's check it out. Epic sustain. It's just so much sustain. It's still going. It's amazing. It's going to be bound all in maple. So you can see this beautiful maple binding. Again, small diamond inlays. But what's really great about an instrument like this is it's very fat, very full. But again, the rarity of the wood and the quality of the wood allows for definition. Warm guitars are great, but if you can't get any note separation, they're kind of useless. They're just big and loud. This instrument will give you that richness that you're looking for, but allow for all the nice type of like hammer-on type playing. You keep all that balance. You keep all of the ability for it to emote, even amongst like a strumming and heavier picking. You can still get that clarity. So really, really impressive instrument. And the Cody, if you check it out on the site, you'll be able to see all the beautiful pictures of this exact instrument. You can always reach out to us. We have special pricing, special financing for custom month, which will end on Monday. So don't sleep on it. Next, I want to show you another newbie. Actually, I'm going to show you this guy here. This is a one-of-a-kind guitar. I'm going to make a change of pace. Check that out. Chalk the V-Gay. Really, probably the most rare guitar we have in the shop right now. Adirondack top, Adirondack bracing with a rear tone bar. This has a large sound hole, which is meant to push more air, be bigger sounding. I had the opportunity to bid this guitar in the sense that we put our business card on it at a dealer event that Martin had, and they made one, and we put our card on it, and they selected it, so we got to buy it and bring it home, which is really, really cool. Chalk the V-Gay is extremely difficult to find. It's sonically like Brazilian rosewood, one of the most difficult woods to source. So you can get that just amazing overtones and richness. And with an Adirondack top and the bracing, it's just a beautiful instrument. It's got a like a 42 style, like you have the full neck extension done for the inlay. The top is bound in pearl. You have the beautiful snowflake inlays. Headstock. It's just really, really killing instrument. And this guitar rips. I mean, there's nothing it can't do. Let's do it. Really still smart sounding guitar. It is a beast. It's a total cannon. As soon as you touch it, the sound just screams out of it. A really cool guitar, and we like to do anything we can to get the most unique, the most rare instruments. And when Martin does a dealer event that offers us the opportunity, that we always try to get as many cool pieces as possible. So this one won't miss the mark. If you're thinking that you want a true showpiece of your collection, and this is not inexpensive, it has an internet price of $13,999. We can help you out, but understanding is like this is something that would be an heirloomy type of guitar, something that's a generational instrument, and just really offers a classic feel and look and tone with one of the rarest tone woods that you can find. So really excited to bring that guy home. So lastly, I'm going to reach behind myself here. I've got one more Martin I want to show before we do a handful of Gibsons. And this is a 14 fret Dreadnought, so a standard Dreadnought body shape with a Sitka spruce top with a really beautiful toner on it. And you can check this wood out here. This is Murado or Bolivian rosewood or Pau Ferro. It has like 9 aliases. It's the John Cougar Mellencamp of tone woods with its multiple names. The cool thing with this is you get the kind of like the rosewoody type of sound, right? But we get, I find a little bit more briskness in it. So I want to just kind of show you to kind of give you the opportunity to hear just a little bit different tone wood. Real lively through the mids and the top, which you don't find is, you know, with rosewood, you get more compressed mids. This guitar, I feel, is real alive during the mids. You can hear that this guitar is more defined and more focused than a traditional, like if you played a D28, you get a little bit more thump on the bottom end. You definitely have brighter top end. This is more even and definitely more tight. It's like, it's definitely, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just like, it feels like all the notes know what they're doing and stay in their own lane and let you go ahead and be the player and tell it what you want it to do as opposed to it fighting you sometimes. So if you're interested in any of these guitars, they're really cool. I mean, we're really excited if Fly's attacking me. If they're really excited to help you out with finding one of these, or if you go to Martin Custom Shop and, you know, their website and you see a style of guitar and you'd like to, you know, work individually with us to spec it out identical to what you'd like and provide, you know, any of that specs thing we can. Anthony says we have a question.
Yeah, Howard Haynes.
Howard.
Out there on
What's up,
YouTube.
Howard?
So I think it was for that Shock the Vigra.
Yeah.
Available on a 12 fret, so probably could custom order it, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you talk about
yeah. So how this works, right? So anytime that they make one of something doesn't mean that they only had one piece of wood, but it may have meant they only had one piece of wood. What we can always do is, what's really cool is we meet with their custom shop team about once a week. And if you said, hey, I'm interested in getting a Chuck de Vigue single O or double O shape or a 12 fret, whatever you're into, what I can do is ask them to pull shots of woods from their library and they'll send them to us and we can select them. And it's really cool because in that interaction, not only will I ask them for the photos and like as a person that's building their guitar and designing it, we can let you select the wood that you like. If you've ever been to a factory, you know, I've done this many times at all the factories. If you handle a tone wood, sometimes you'll feel when it's a little bit stiffer or it's got more bend or flex to it. And those different textures and tensions and densities will lend better to different body shapes and the types of tone you're getting. So on something like a Chuck de Vigue, they could say, hey, listen, we have 3 or 4. We have one that's a little bit softer, and that might be a little bit bassier, and we're not sure that we would love that as much for a 12 fret. This one's got a medium tension or, you know, or a harder stiffness. We can walk all the way through that. And that's what a true custom shop is. Something that we do on all of our custom shops, and we're going to be able to offer you as an expert dealer. If you deal with us, we're going to be able to get them to hand sand the item 5,000ths of an inch thinner. So the tops, the back, and sides all get hand sanded a little bit thinner. And when they do that, that makes the instrument more lively. These are the ways you get secret sauce. This is how you get the tone that isn't available just in standard stock models. And that doesn't undervalue a standard D28 or D35 or whatever you're into. They're world famous guitars for a reason. But if you're looking for something to be customized and you want to take it to the next level, you want, you know, protein glue and you want different adhesives, whatever you're after, we can get this dead on for you. We can do inlay patterns. We actually have a beautiful guitar that's just about to arrive for a customer that had a really stunning custom, you know, almost like a steel inlay done on the fretboard. Just it's a true custom shop. You're not just picking off a menu of 10 options. They can do whatever you want. They have amazing ability to recreate classic instruments or let you take your own design and apply it to one of their body shapes and tone woods. So we can definitely work with you on that. Give us a shout and we can definitely do that. And Howard, I can definitely give you a heads up and let you know about that too. So now that is a good selection of our Martin Custom Shop instruments. The next 3 guitars I wanted to show you were all from a new line of Gibson guitars, which I'm stuck here on my cable. There we go. Gibson brought out their acoustic custom historic line in January at the NAMM show, back when things were things. And when I held the instruments, I was really pumped because we found that, we've done pretty good with Gibson acoustics. And what do people want? They always want great recreations of the most famous instruments. And they've brought out a good handful of models, and they've been trickling through, and I have 3 in stock right now. This is the 1952 J185. What's really cool about this guitar is historically why it was invented was because they had the J200, and it's this big acoustic guitar. And some of us want that type of tone, but maybe we're not big enough to hold it, or it's not comfortable for us, or maybe it was too powerful. We like to sing and we don't have as boastful of a voice, and we don't want to shout over a large instrument. They had to come up with something that was a more compact version. And they actually introduced this guitar in 1951, and they're celebrating the 52 because that's when it became like a full part of the line. It's got what they call a thermally aged Sitka spruce top. So we talk about in Martin guitars, it's called VTS, which is a vintage, tone system, torrefaction, baking the tops, reducing the tone wood moisture content, making it sound older and warmer. So the deal with a vintage guitar and why you want a vintage guitar on spec is the idea that it's been around, it's been played in, it's got this kind of like mojo that's unique to it. And it's really just the wood aging. The problem is if you picked up a typical 1952 guitar, it's not going to play anymore. It's going to be more collectible because it's rare than its use. And the most playable ones are definitely the most expensive ones. So it set you back significantly more than any of these. So this is a great way with their hand bracing, all handwork again, spruce top that's thermally aged, maple back and sides. And what's going to be cool for you to hear tonight is the difference between the Martin tone and the Gibson tone. So let's check out this J185. These guitars, Gibsons, are definitely more mid-forward. They are punchier. I find Martin guitars tend to be kind of like that rich, kind of vibey. Whereas this, a Gibson acoustic is instantly noticeable. I think Martin and Gibsons, like as soon as you hear one played, you're like, oh, that's a Gibson or a Martin. They're really noticeable. The maple back and sides give us that punch because it's a hard tone wood. By aging the top, it gives us roundness so we don't sound brash. And this body shape, what does it tell you about the sound that we're trying to get? Well, it's an expanded bottom end, real wide across here, skinny at the waist, smaller shoulders. And you can hear that in the tone, even though it's not crazy, crazy bassy, it's got a big full bottom end for maple. Really cool. Totally hand built, feather light, very, very comfortable to play. So if you've ever been thinking like, you're about the two brands, you can obviously hear them side by side here. But if you've wanted that vintage Gibson sound and you've always thought jumbos were cool, but they're just too big. Like when I hold an SJ200, I just think it's too big. When I'm holding it, I'm uncomfortable. It doesn't feel natural to me. This is a much more kind of like homey feel that if you're trying to get a more focused tone as well, it'll do the trick for sure. The next one I want to show you is a 1960 Hummingbird fixed bridge from the same custom store collection. And you'll see they have 2 versions, a fixed bridge and non. This has, again, a thermally aged Sitka spruce top. So again, a baked spruce top, mahogany back and sides. You see the vintage style tuners. Hummingbird, how can you tell it's a Hummingbird? Look at that right here. They gave it away. There's no prize for knowing that. Hummingbird, again, a classic sounding instrument. Real, again, brisk and clean, and I think noticeably immediately kind of Gibson-y again, right? Real good and big through the mids. an instrument like this, you'll hear not crazy thin. It's not like a thin sounding guitar. It's pretty round at the top, but the notes all have a really cool, like I think, punch. When you hit a Gibson, it's kind of almost got this like staccato type of attack that allows the note to hit you kind of right when you were just thinking it's like kind of like not next note's not going to get you. Boom, it's right there. So a great instrument for anyone looking to pick through independently. You know, it's like it's still a cool strumming guitar because you can play it sweetly. So a pretty great instrument. So the last acoustic that I'm going to show for you is a 1942 J45, and I think probably the most famous Gibson acoustic guitar, the most noticeable of all time. And I'm going to ask Todd to pop out here because we're going to get ready to do some electric guitar stuff. So the J45, as you know, like you can picture many, many classic artists playing the J45. This is called the Banner. And why is it called the Banner? There's a cool, this is only a Gibson is good enough. So that was their tagline. And you should believe them because that's what they say. Now, what's cool about this is you have a slope shoulder design. You think about, I mean, a billion artists have played this guitar and you've seen them on stage. What's a little bit different about this is it has the thermally aged top as well, but it's Adirondack. So a little bit more boastful, mahogany back and sides, and the J45 is immediately noticeable. And that Adirondack, you can tell, at least I can right here. If you are listening through a laptop, try to get yourself some headphones. Now, I should have told you that at the beginning. But it's a big difference between the two speakers. But in person, the sound is way more out, just pours out of the instrument a little bit differently. Hand built. If you want a J45, this is the best version on earth of it. So hopefully through the acoustic section here, what you notice is that with these brands, what Gibson's doing now, Gibson has a custom shop where you can spec off one-of-a-kind guitars, and we can definitely work with you on that as well. So if you're digging it, let us know. Gibson's current focus feels very much like it's going for a recreation. They're trying to give us back those classic designs. And Martin has an amazing line of instruments called the Authentic series. So if you check those out online, if you want authentic recreations, they have a line very similar to this in the Martin. But in Martin Custom Shop, what you're able to do is really dream up anything you like. And we're here to work with you on that. And we're an expert dealer because we have direct access to the custom shop. We have access to the top builders. We have access to the top designers there and the heads of the custom shop to make sure we get premium woods for you. And we make the process smooth and you just get a beautiful guitar, lifetime investment, something you get, and a great deal. So we'll take care of you. So with that being said, Martin and Gibson's on our site, empiremusiconline.com, 412-343-5299. Now I'm going to bring in Todd, who's known for his metronome killing speed and ability to stun any fretboard with his tasty licks. And he's going to plug in here. And I just wanted to kind of offer up the ability to see a couple of guitars we couldn't fit into the mix. We have 3 Fender products and a Gibson. Which one do you want to start with there, Todd?
Let's do the Fenders first, I guess. Then
right, Todd's going to do the Fenders first. So he's going to check out this thin line telly for us, and he'll give us a ride. Now, the amp is currently off, so make sure you pop that on. The amplifier he's going to be using is our Fender Custom Shop Blues Junior Distiller, and this is the one that we're giving away. So this will give you an idea of what it looks like. Individually hand-built cabinets of bourbon barrels. Really, really just beautiful. And the guys are scooting around back there to make sure our cameras are all in place. We're looking good. All right, we're good to go. So Todd, give us a rundown on this guitar.
So this is the, I guess the Blackguard Thin Line Telecaster Fender Custom Shop model. One of my favorites. I love this guitar. This has the Blackguard, or I'm sorry, I guess the Nocaster Blackguard pickups. Ash body flash coat lacquer, which is pretty neat. So that's a real thin, like super ultra thin lacquer finish. Neck profile is the 57 soft V, and this also has a compound radius 7.25, 9.5. Very comfortable.
Oh, let's hear it.
So again, we're going through the distiller amp we've demonstrated before. So just basic clean sound. Just jump to the neck real quick. So very, very warm, has that snap to it as well. I think I've demonstrated these pickups before, just fantastic. They fit this guitar, especially with the hollow or semi-hollow. Crunch up a little bit. Crunches up real nice. Hit a booster. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, the cool thing with thin lines is by basically this section of the guitar is all solid here, but they empty out this section here. They open up that cavity, and it provides definitely a more ambient tone. It's a little bit rounder, a little bit more acoustic. So I think the notes sound a little bit fatter typically than the solid body. And you can hear that in Todd's playing. Even with the distortion, there's a certain roundness. So if you've always wondered why that's the case, that's what they're doing. That's what the ability, the design, is implemented for. But if you think, you're looking for like a Telecaster you found them maybe to be a little bit too aggressive for you, this is a great way to find something that gives you a little bit more lush tone.
Yeah, I mean, the way I always perceive thin lines is that warmer, rounder sound, maybe less sustain of the notes, but then you get more of that acoustic quality.
For sure.
Yeah.
Tasty. This one here is one of my favorites in the shop.
HLE, yeah.
You've got to see photos of this guitar up close on the website. It's got this killing, Closet Classic finish with a checked finish on it. It is crazy. It's unbelievable. If you look at it from an angle, it just looks shattered glass. Maybe give it a really cool, kept in the case, but the nitro kind of, had this cracking feature to it. It's just really, really amazing.
Really neat one-piece maple neck. It's flamed. The pickups in this guy are the 57, like a classic 57 wound. And this also has a V-neck. Actually, all the guitars, except for the Les Paul, are V-necks, which are, well, they call them the soft V. So very comfortable. This one, it just has a standard 9.5-inch radius and vintage tuners. Yeah, this thing's just killer.
Pickguard.
Yeah.
Have at it.
This is the same pickguard that's on the Alderson's guitars. All right, so again, it's clean. Yeah, so you can see these pickups are just, they're not flamethrower type. They're definitely clean, glassy. Doesn't matter where you go. Overdrive, boost it. Wonderful.
Great guitar.
Yeah.
The last one here. So just to let you know too. So with the custom shop month, if you're interested, we have, we did a whole thing. You can look back on our YouTube channel and see last week's we focused on our 67 Strats and Tellys, which are exclusive models to us. We've got a bunch of master built Strats in this week from Yuri Shishkov, Todd Krause, and Kyle McMillan, which are awesome. So we have those. So if you're interested in our spec build guitars from Fender Custom Shop, they're amazing. and we'll definitely we'll hook you up. So don't feel shy. So all right, the blue sparkle.
Yeah. This has been one of my favorites since we got it. The super faded aged metallic blue sparkle. This thing's just outrageous.
You can see a different relic level. Obviously, it's
Mhm.
just a super heavy, or is this a heavy relic?
This is a super heavy, well, a heavy relic. Yeah, but super faded aged
Okay.
heavy relic blue metallic blue sparkle. What's cool about this too, it's interesting with different relicing and the different options with custom shop. This particular one has that raised grain where you can feel the grain, so it's really neat. This one again also has that a V-neck, but it's really worn. Being this is a heavy relic. It's a screamer.
Melt your face off. All right, so we're going to end the electric portion of the show. So Gibson, we have many Gibson custom shop electric guitars on order. They too shut down for a long time, and these custom models take a while to get. So we have them coming through. We got a question?
We have
Let's do
Brian
it.
Wells asking, do you have any Gibson custom SGs en route?
Yeah, we have on order. They have a Vibrola and the Maestro and a standard 61, all custom shops. Those are all on order. If you want to give the shop a call or message us privately, or on here you can give us your phone number if you want. But you can give us a call. We can reach out tomorrow to Gibson and get an actual ETA on the availability of those specific ones. So yeah, those are all on the way, and they're all models we've had before. They're really awesome. Cool. So this is the last guy.
Yeah. So the historic collection, 1958, or as people call it, the R8. This is the dark bourbon fade VOS. So this had the vintage old stock finish. So you don't, it has that fade to it, but you're not going to get that kind of checking that we see in the.
Yeah, it's like a
HO.
muted finish. It's kind of
Mhm.
like the luster would have come off of it a little bit.
Custom bucker pickups, very period specific wound. We have the rosewood fingerboard. This neck profile is what they call the medium chunky, I guess, or the 58. So, I mean, if people that, follow like numbers and specs it's a 0.9 to a 1 inch. So just to give an idea what the neck profile is like. Fantastic guitar. So it sounds like this. Chunky.
So with Gibson, you can check our inventory out online as well. Gibson doesn't let us sell our guitars online. I don't understand it. No one understands it. It's just the way it is. It's got to be a little quirk in our day, but you can see everything on our site, and you can always give us a call, and we can take care of you over the phone. But if you want to spec your individual Les Paul, we can do custom anything from Gibson. Source you. We have 59s, we have 58s, we have 60s on order. We have a bunch of SGs on order from the custom shop. So reach out to us. Don't be shy. So it's custom month at Empire Music. Give us a shout, 412-343-5299. We have amazing 0% deals. We can hook you up on price. We have full factory setups on everything we sell. I don't care if you buy a Squire from us or one of these custom shop guitars. It will come with a full factory setup. We're really, really proud of that. We carry the world's most famous brands with the best guitars. We have a massive selection of Taylor, Martin, Gibson, and Fender. We have just unbelievable opportunities for you to get an amazing instrument and make sure you take care of with a great playing guitar too. It's not going to be just a good guitar sent to you that you need to work on when you get it. It's going to be ready to rock. So check out empiremusiconline.com. We would love for you to subscribe. Somewhere along the links here, you can find the link to apply for the chance to win our raffle for the Fender Custom Shop Blues Junior Distiller Amp. And we are here to take great care of you, well, in custom shop or stock items from any of Taylor, Martin, Gibson, and Fender. We are Empire Music. This is Todd Myra. I'm Joe Rabita. Thanks for coming to our virtual roadshow. We'll catch you soon. Thanks a lot for watching.